Okay, cool.
Hey, welcome everyone to the
Hello.
first episode ever. So, no pressure on us, right?
Hopefully not. Hopefully not.
And I'm joined by Yari. So, Yari, can you give all the socials? So, Yari's a fellow Twitch streamer, also
Yeah.
a Stream Raiders captain. So,
Yeah.
yeah, so what is
What do you
your
want?
Twitch name, Yari?
My Twitch name is Yari with four or five A's. What was it again? Sometimes I made the most easy name. It's four A's and an underscore at the end. So that's my
Okay.
Twitch. That's my Twitch.
We might need to put that on
Yeah.
the links and descriptions because I don't think they can find you otherwise.
Nah, put it. You'll find it down in the description.
Hopefully there's a description. Well, actually they'll be listening on audio, so can you possibly spell it out so they might be able to, if this is the audio instead of the YouTube, where would they find it?
It's JAAAARI underscore.
And obviously on Twitch, yes.
On Twitch.
On
Definitely,
Twitch.
yeah.
Yeah. And you have a YouTube channel, correct?
Yeah, I have a YouTube channel. I haven't posted that much. Let's see. I think it's just my name. So it's JARIBRON.
Okay.
That's the YouTube channel that I'm currently using.
Fair enough. So essentially you started streaming about a year ago, correct?
I think about a year ago, yeah. First, what did we start with? Probably we started with playing, I think, World of Warcraft and League of Legends. Doing music as well, doing guitar, doing like live interviews for the band. What did we do more? Like Q&As for the band. Yeah, which was pretty fun. But now, obviously, it's more difficult to play guitar, right? Because
Yeah.
with all the royalty strikes and stuff. So we try to fit it in the future somehow, but have to look a little bit how I can go around the DMCA strikes.
Yeah, that's true. Like any kind of non-original content, you have the strikes.
Yeah. Yep.
And is that like what your main focus is on now, or?
My main focus at the moment is actually Stream Raiders. We're pushing for affiliates on Stream Raiders, which is like 30 average viewers, 20 average placements in the game. So the viewers can place on your battlefield. And if you have like 20 average placers over 2 weeks and 30 average viewers, Casper's also doing the same. And
True.
you have that. You can have your own skins or your own, like, how to say, like your own skin on a unit in the game, which is pretty cool.
Is there like, do you think that there is some downsides to Stream Raiders compared to any other games that you've played?
I think you need Stream Raiders, of course, has some upsides, which is that it's interactive with the chat somehow, right? But you have to wait around 20 minutes at times. So you have to entertain people for 20 minutes, and that's the downside. Like,
Yeah,
you can't be late.
True.
You can't be late to start the battles because no one will stick around anymore.
That's true.
And but you have to entertain in the meantime. So that's like finding the balance how to entertain people. Are you really good at Stream Raiders? Are you going to say every move you make, right? So some streamers do that. Like, they have a map on Stream Raiders and they go in depth about their thought process, and if someone places something wrong, what happens and that kind of stuff. Are you going to be that kind of streamer? Are you going to do marbles, for example? Doing giveaways. Like what I've yesterday when I was streaming and there were like 40 people in there. I found out that actually they were really busy with the stream avatars. So they were doing battle royales and
Oh
bosses
yeah,
and
yeah,
farting, mass farting, dancing, hugging each other. So yeah, that was pretty cool actually. Everyone was really entertained by the stream avatars.
yeah. I think generally when you introduce something new to your streams, it doesn't matter what it is. People want a kind of like, oh yes, I saw this before, but this looks really cool. And how do I do this? So a lot of times there's a bit between like what you need to give your stream, like original, like
Yeah.
am I the same person as when I started streaming? That's a hard question. That's essentially what you need to be. Is like why people are drawn to you is because you kind of have that personality from when you started streaming. It might become better, but in general, like it's always that kind of case. And I think in some ways always brings something new in, correct? Is that yeah.
You have to be refreshing, right? So you have to play around, try things, add things, replace things. It's like an ongoing process in the end.
Ongoing struggle. It's a real thing.
Ongoing struggle, yeah. It comes down to even really small things like what kind of times work for me, right, to stream. You can stream for like 9 hours, but if like 3 hours are the most effective, if you see that on a regular, that maybe 6 to 9 is the most effective or something, why would you stream like, I don't know, like 9 hours?
I think it does come down to this like thing where, like for example, about a month ago, I did a streaming every single day back to back. And it was interesting because now I'm trying to do the same kind of experiment, but with shorter hours. Like to the point that I'm like, okay, I do a 3 or 4 hour stream and see how it goes. Because I think in general, looking at Twitch in a thing, the discoverability of a 3 hour stream is not as good as a 9 hour stream per se.
That's true.
And a lot of people don't get the notifications if they have them enabled. And that's like 73% of my Twitch channel has their notifications turned off. So it's like one of those things where you're like, okay, if you scroll down the side, you might see me, but if not, well, I'll see you soon, I guess.
And in that, it's also really important to join like Discords and stuff that like do shout outs.
I think when you start off, that there's like this bit where like obviously as you progress through, something that used to work for you at the start doesn't work for you anymore. And I think in general, like starting with like if you started again tomorrow, I think I would still do the same thing, which would be reaching out to other streamers, like join the streaming Discord, like a lot of people that are starting streaming as well, because then you guys grow up together in a little way. It's not that much. I think like when I kind of look back on people that I started streaming with, they're about the same, like 15, 10. There's some people that kind of like instantly branch out because they're just kind of entertaining to watch and they're very good at what they do, and they're just there and they're very present with their community and they do very well. But in general, I think as a starter streamer, you need to reach out to other people that are starting off
in
too.
the meantime, let's sing a song. Or that's not. Stay hydrated.
Yeah,
Oh
stay
yeah,
hydrated.
you're back.
Oh, you're back. What?
You're back. You were freezing.
You're frozen. What?
You were frozen.
Oh yeah. You'll see this thing later and see who's frozen. No.
You definitely.
Oh yeah. People that are listening on audio won't understand that completely. So Yari, for me, the screen just completely. Hey, where you like poking off to the side? Like obviously I'm this way.
Yeah, for me you're this way.
Okay. Doing a random Casper dance because the sake of
Yeah.
it. So let us go back. So, do you have like 5 things that you learned when like as a content creator doing it for like like a year? What would you say like are your biggest kind of learning curves, or what would you
Learning curves.
suggest?
It's always a big learning curve, like how to stand out, I think. Like
Mm.
what makes your stream special? Or how can you make your stream special? So that people stick around, right? Might be in the smallest of things, actually. Uh and it's also dependent for the person. Some
I
people
think the whole idea is that people that say, "Oh yeah, make your stream special," I think in general it's too generalistic. What would you define as like special for you?
it really depends. Some people like, I don't know, the choice of music. Like
Mm,
yesterday we are having all this really known music, like Eye of the Tiger, YMCA,
mm,
Christina Aguilera, Grease. People love it, like ABBA, Mamma Mia stuff, and people recognize it, and they were like,
mm,
"Oh, this is such nice music. We're going to chill here because of the good music." And another one says, "Oh, you're running battles all day, which I see you a lot. I play a lot with you."
mm,
Um, and they come to the stream whenever I'm online. That's also a thing. Being social, seeing people in all the streams makes you stand out as well. The social aspect.
mm,
It's such a wide variety of things that can make you stand out.
mm.
Just little niche things actually. Um, for me, example, I do a lot with music as well. Like that's my
Yeah.
thingy that makes me a little bit different than other streamers,
Mm,
which is like the music aspect to it as well. If someone comes in to chat about music mainly,
mm.
uh, which is really cool. We had some streams actually where we did some guitar as well besides Stream Raiders, which was pretty cool. Um, yeah, I
Can
think
you tell like people like because they might not know you through stream readers? You did something really cool uh in general for the community. And that specific thing was really interesting because it's garnered you quite a lot of attention in stream raiders alone.
yeah.
Can you elaborate what you've done?
Well, I made like a full cover from like the battle music from Stream Raiders. So whenever you start a battle, you have this tune going off, and I made like a metal rock cover from the song. So I recorded like um every instrument myself, which was we had some orchestras going on, guitar, bass, drums. We had a little bit of vocals in there. So yeah, I did like a full cover from the song myself.
And so therefore, how did the other captains pick up that you had done this?
Well, to some that I knew that would like it, I just send it directly, right? I post it in some Discords. For example, also in the Stream Raiders Discord, like their big original Discord. Actually, some like bigger streamers also use it at the moment, which is like quite good exposure as well. So sometimes I come into a chat and they say like, "Is this the guy that makes the music?" Which is pretty cool.
So therefore, like, are you suggesting, like, when you say something like special, like, not a lot of people would have done that in general.
No,
Like, a lot of people tend to turn on the camera, start recording, and that's all they do. And I think that, yeah, at the moment, the Twitch communities, in general, are looking for better content. And they're looking for something that's kind of comparable to YouTube. And YouTube is getting better in the content as well.
Definitely.
So therefore, because we are in, I think, the age of streamers, like, in general, like, online content creators are ridiculous. It's not just like a handy cam in your grandmother's basement anymore. It's in general, it's a lot of things that make people kind of watch other people. Is because they do bigger and bigger things. And I think in general, like, the time of just turning on a camera is gone.
Yeah, you also have to put a lot of effort in streaming, like beside your stream hours. Like it's not only that you for me personally that I just turn on the cam. Like that's not the only thing I really do. I also like to support other streamers, which I spend a lot of time
do
in
you
and
think
with.
that, like, can I interrupt you for a second?
Yeah.
Do you think that in some ways, like, supporting other people could be a time drain on your resources later? Maybe not right now, but
I don't think so.
mm.
Because people understand whenever you are busy, right? You can't do it. Well, when you're not, you can do it,
Yeah.
which is like,
Yeah.
I mean, I will always support other people. It doesn't matter. Like, but if I can't do it, I can't do it. Like sometimes
Excuse me.
people need a few extra viewers, and then I just
Yeah.
put up my alarm. I go to sleep. I put my alarm up whenever I know they're online. Just put on my PC and then leave them alert. I mean, it's good because you can't expect people to do the same to you. You can't expect it, right?
Yeah, for sure.
But if you do it for other people, if you're not going to do it for other people,
It exactly, like, who would you expect to do it for you?
yeah. But
and yeah, you're definitely right. I think one thing that I picked up that you're very good at is that you're not quid pro quo. So therefore, it's like, one thing that I noticed when I started streaming was how many people, oh, I rated this person and they haven't rated me back, or this or that or the other. And I was like, why is this important to you? Like, for me, like, sometimes when I do something nice for some other streamer, I say, don't worry, just pay it on. So therefore, the whole idea is I don't need that thing back. Whether it's like I've helped you out with something, or I've done something, or I've rated out to you.
Yeah.
I don't need this back. I essentially, what happens is, if we work as a team, like the Twitch community in general, then we help other people. and we help Twitch grow, because if we're always like we haven't got it back, then we essentially strangle what we're trying to create or grow, I think.
Yeah. Like nice things. I mean, you do nice things because you like it. You like to support people. You like to help people, right?
Mm.
If you're negative towards people, they're never going to pick it up, right? So better be nice to other people, and maybe they do something back, but it will always work out for the best. It's like
Yeah.
however you do it, if you are nice to other people and support other people, it's always for the best. It's always for the best.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you that, but it's also like one of those things that, can we talk for a second, and I'll talk like off topic.
Yeah.
That at the moment I'm seeing a drop in engagement with raids. I feel like a lot of times when we raid out, we like the community doesn't stay completely with a raid. What's your opinion on that?
It's really dependent. Sometimes people stay, sometimes not. It's also really dependent on, for example, how big the raid is. It's
For
also a
sure.
thing like, I think yesterday I had a raid around 64 people, and I think 35 of them stayed till the end, which is like half of it.
Yeah,
which
that's pretty
is really
good.
nice.
Yeah.
But imagine raiding out with like 10 people, then only 5 would stay.
Yeah.
It's just it does work. It does work, the raids, but it's really dependent. So it's really dependent on who's staying, who's not. I mean, at least you make the sign to someone else that you want to help them.
So what was I going to say? What was the biggest thing that you've learned while streaming?
The biggest thing I learned while streaming, a lot actually.
Can you
like
get one?
On social things. Social things are really important. Being helpful to each other, which is a thing in life as well, right? Not only in streaming.
Yeah.
It's just an important life lesson as well. Don't lose yourself in things, right? Which is really easy with
Yes.
streaming. It's like this
Yeah.
big world of cool people to interact with and hang out with and just have a good time. And in the end, you end up sleeping like 4 hours a night, which isn't too uncommon, actually.
No, not with streamers. Yeah.
No, it does happen. Like the other day, I was just hanging out in Discord with a few streamers, and at some point, I was hearing the birds outside, and I saw it was light. I was like, "How early is it?" Oh wait, 7 a.m. Like it just happens, right? Also with streaming, like if you have a good stream, make sure to keep yourself on schedule. If you say I'm stopping like 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
If it's a really good stream, go one more hour, right? Go 8 or 9, right? But don't go like 1, 2 a.m. It will only break you up. I did that as well. Like, oh, I have this 6-hour stream planned, and I went on for like 12 hours. In the end, you continue to do that all the time, and breaks you pretty much up.
Yeah, I think like people don't realize that streaming needs quite a lot of stamina. It's not just like physical endurance, which is kind of weird because you go, Casper, you're sitting down all day? Like, the whole idea is like, if you go like this your whole entire time, then, like, I'm slouching in my chair right now. Like, that kind of transfers to your viewers, and they're like, really this person doesn't really want to stay around. Like they have no interest in their stream whatsoever. So it is physical endurance because you've got to keep yourself pepped, like physically active, kind of. Like you notice from my streams, like we have a certain amount of dance things that I can just break out and dance. So sound effects that bring on a dance thing. So it's like one of those things that you've got to kind of have that physical endurance, but mental stamina, like especially I think in general, like your willpower gets drained when you have good things happen to you. You can kind of get pumped, and then you do the same thing next day, and you're like, where have all my viewers gone? Like it's like you're kind of comparing the past. So therefore the whole idea is your willpower gets slowly drained because you're like, it's not as good today. Like, where did it all go? Like, and then you start questioning like everything. And I think in general, there's like so many different staminas you have to have as a streamer, not just physical, but you need the mental. Hi guys, how you going? Like, what you've got to think of questions like very quickly. And some people are very smart, which I'm not one of them, by the way, guys. So they have like their like questions and stuff that they're going to talk about during the stream, so they can reference back like things that they want to say on stream. I don't. I sit there and go, it is the best. It's not, guys. Get yourself a little bit of a scribble down. So at least you could sit there and go, remember that funny story like last Tuesday with the dog? And everyone's like, what dog? You didn't say anything on Tuesday. So then you start talking about like your funny story. So it's good in a way because it does tend to help with that. As you're definitely correct about the physical and the like, I feel willpower, that if you stream for longer, you definitely feel more and more drained.
Yeah.
And definitely take some days off, guys. Like, mental illness in streamers is just so high because we tend to, if we're not here for the money, which I hope that Noah's here specifically for the money, because go and get yourself at Uber Eats or something, because you're going to make more money just doing that alone, because like, don't do this for the money. It's not about the money. But in general, it's just one of those things that do take days off. Go to sleep before 2 a.m.
That's what I always hope.
Well, you'll get there eventually. We all.
one time, one day or another.
Yeah.
Right?
I think in general, what would I say? It's like revenge streaming. As soon as you finish the stream and it's quite late, you're like, yes. Like
microphone issues.
But in general, like, you know how that feeling like, yes, I finished the stream, so you stay up like a little bit later because you've just finished the stream. I think that's the thing, revenge streaming, where you're like, I have finished at 12 o'clock, I'm going to stay up late. And so therefore you get to about 2 or 3 and then you're shot. Yeah.
Yep.
Mm.
That's how it goes.
So I think we're going to wrap this up. Anything else you want to say on the subject of streaming? I think we've done this. Like, I feel like we've... what time? What? No. Okay, we're not finished yet. It's only been 30 minutes.
Oh?
We've got to possibly talk for another 30 minutes. Is there any... let's say, what has your background given you that a lot of other streamers don't have?
Mm,
And please go into detail what your background is, because
how do you mean background? Like,
so therefore you were touring before all
yeah,
of quarantine. So
yeah.
go into detail.
I think what the edge that I have over like other streamers, probably is that I'm used to working pretty efficient. Of course, two is also a lot of social networking, which is really easy for me. Like networking is really easy for me. Being really um, hard on details as well, because like if you do like live music, it's live. You have to be really uh, you have to make sure everything is going to be okay in the evening, right? And if something is not, have to know like exactly how to fix it within a matter of seconds, preferably. Sometimes matter of minutes, but seconds like more preferred. What more? I think the entertainment value, because in the end, music is entertainment as well.
For sure.
For example, live performances is also entertainment, which is actually really close to each other, right? Like live entertainment, streaming, it's kind of the same. Which which I really enjoy. The entertainment aspect of streaming. It's really cool. I think that's the things that gave me an edge, and also cultural things. Like I know a lot about like different countries, and I've been to a lot of places, and I can just say to someone like say something in their language, or say like, oh, you know that venue or that bar or that, you know, whatever. It's really cool, and they say, "Oh yeah, I lived 2 hours away from it, or I live really close to it," and then say, "Oh, then you know this and that," and gives them a uh, I don't know, it's somehow connects
It's
you
that
with a
you're
person.
relatable then, because you know
Yeah,
exactly like where they are.
yeah.
Yeah. What would you suggest? Like listing all of these, how would someone get that?
How someone would get
Like
that?
the whole idea of being able to network. What would you
Networking.
suggest? Yeah.
You have to set yourself up really approachable.
Mm.
And I don't think you can learn that. I think that's a personality trait more than it is something you learn. Quite sure.
Mm. I don't know. Like obviously in general, like approachability is like almost relatability. Like what would I say? To probably approach someone would be to ask them a question and be genuinely interested about their answer. Like how many people like ask a question and then they're like, uh-huh, and you're like, they really didn't want to know. And you're like, well, obviously if you don't want to, like, networking in general, I think you just have to be there to really help other people. Like I think in general. And then also ask the questions. Like if you are really stuffed, like not stuffed, really flummoxed on something that is happening with your OBS or
Yeah.
like design or something like that, you can always ask your community. Like, not just like the community that you're building, which is
Yeah.
great, guys. Like, definitely ask your community anything, because it first means that you're really interested in what your community has to say, which I think does tend to make you unique in some ways, because I think in obviously large streamers can't do that anymore, And so therefore you can go from being unapproachable to being very approachable by just asking those questions. But also, I think in one way, there's always going to be a lot of knowledge in general with the streaming communities that you join that you might not know. Like, ask them about, like, where's a good way to get good overlays, or is there a difference between this codec and the other codec? Like, if you don't know, they can tell you, but don't ask. Sorry, guys. Don't ask questions that you already have the answer to, because then that's not fair, I think. What do you think, Nari?
I think it's really stupid to, if it's not in a funny way, right? It's really stupid to ask questions that you already know. I'm quite sure.
Yeah.
Like, why would you ever do that? That might be one of the most stupid things to ever do.
I think the one thing that I feel is a stupid thing, let's go on a tangent here for a little bit, is to think that you can ever be unique. I think you can't. I think you can be an interesting person, and I would say make sure that you're interesting. But in general, there's so many streamers on Twitch that you're not going to be unique. You can bring people into fandoms that you're already part of. Like, if you were a Harry Potter fan, or you have a specific thing that you're really passionate about, bring them in on it. Like, if it's more of a mainstream, then you have more people that are be able to connect to. Like, your stories about asking about people and like, oh yeah, you live here, like, do you know this bar?
Yeah.
And so therefore that kind of gives you this bit where people like, I love this thing too, and you're like, great. So then you become more of an interesting person because you share the same things as someone else. So the relatability goes up.
Yeah, give like real interest in your viewers, right? Be interested in your viewers as well, right? Don't just sit there for yourself. Like, your viewers are your most important thing. They support you. Make sure to let them feel welcome.
Yeah, exactly.
They have to feel really welcome in your stream, right? So chat with them, make a joke, remember things they say.
Yeah.
That's really important. That's really important. Like, they will come back. And if you say, like, how was it the other day with this or that? And if you just have like a big memory and can remember a lot of people, then if you say that, they will know that you're really interested in them. And if you do that, then you have genuine interest in your viewers, I think. Because if you're not interested, if you would just do it for the show, you wouldn't remember. You wouldn't remember at all.
I think in general there's like this whole idea that you have to realize that people have a certain amount of attention span, and if they don't feel engaged, they will click out. And obviously we're having troubles with essentially ads at the moment, because Twitch does do very high pre-roll ads. So you might lose someone before they even engage with you, which is a problem. A lot of bigger streamers, what they'll do is pre-roll the ads, so people that are coming in don't actually have that ad barrier. But I think in general, if you don't feel like you're being interacted with, then you will kind of go. You will either lurk, which is okay. We all need lurkers. We love lurkers. Do not call them out, or they'll go scuttle
Pro
off to
lurkers.
next stream. They're like, "Oh my eyes! I've got shines on. I'm gonna go to another stream. Bye."
We love the pro lurkers.
They're amazing. I think in general, like, the whole idea is that if you don't feel like you can interact at that moment, I feel like in general you just don't have any interactivity. And in general, there's not going to be a lot of moments in gameplay that someone's going to have the same kind of, oh yeah, I just beat this, or I just did this. Like, sometimes you will, and then you could go, oh yeah, like, you beat me here, like, how did you do it? Like, what is the suggestions? Or, like, yay! Like, what was it? In RuneScape yesterday? No, the day before. I got to Pref, which is a major milestone in the game, and I unlocked that because you've got to go through a series of quests to do that in RuneScape. And so therefore, a lot of people that were watching me met me in Pref, and it was like confetti everywhere and everything. So it was kind of good because then the stream can celebrate the same time as you, and that's a good thing. I think in general, like, group celebration where you go, I finally did it, guys, you're awesome, big group hug. Like, a lot of times, like, if you get to be able to celebrate with your stream, that's one major milestone that you've actually achieved.
Yeah, that's really important. Or for example, Streamers affiliate, for example. That kind of stuff. Like,
Yeah.
it's if you reach that, which is also like a major, major, major achievement, right?
For sure. Yeah.
And that's like also really important to celebrate with your community, you know. Announce it like we're having this celebration stream. Like, it's a big it is a big thing, but
Yeah,
like, announce it
exactly.
as a big thing, you know. So yeah, that kind of stuff is pretty important as well, you know. Being one with your community, right?
Yeah, because like at the end of the day, they are the people that are there for you.
Yeah.
At the end
And
of the day, your community is one of those things that what is it? You cannot survive without a community. It's like everybody needs to understand that their community is what is essentially their channel. I suppose, like, what usually I say is that without you guys, this wouldn't exist. And it's genuine. Like, if you didn't have that interactivity, if you did not have these people coming back every single day, spending, like, it's a ridiculous amount of hours when you think about it.
No.
Like, most people could watch a full-time, like, at least a feature-length film. For how many times they watch you, it's ridiculous. It's amazing, and it makes my heart hurt so much that people tend to then tune back in, and it's amazing.
What I also really like about like the Stream Raiders community is that basically the viewers and the streamers are like one. They are on the same bandwidth, you know. There is like everyone hangs out with each other, whether you're like a streamer or a viewer. Like, it's so close. It's just one community. It's honestly a really, really great and social community. It's really a community game. Let's put it that way. I think it's the strongest community if it comes to games. Not even lying about that one, actually. It's just you have a lot of games like RuneScape, play
Mm,
WoW or
mm,
uh, Call of Duty, Fortnite, which definitely have like probably have some good communities,
mm.
but I don't see them be as social and so big. Like everyone knows each other, literally in the
Yeah,
Stream Raiders
that's
community.
true.
Everyone
That's
knows each
true.
other. It's just amazing. Stream Raiders is also almost a social experiment.
Possibly is. That's don't
Yeah.
tell our viewers. Shh.
Like it, it it just amazed me. Like when I
Yeah.
first saw it and I saw like, wow, this is more. This is actually amazing. It's more of a social experiment, like connecting people more.
Mm.
Then it of course it is a game and PvP can get hot sometimes.
Don't tell
but
me about it.
but beside that, like the community is
Yeah.
so supportive,
Yeah.
so one. It's just one, like one unity, and that's what really nice about Stream Raiders community. Like everyone just goes hand in hand, and yeah, it's really nice.
It's interesting. Like, would you think that there's going to be a lot more? What would I say? More communities? Because the weirdest thing is, as a streamer, if you're starting streaming, one of the biggest advice that people tell you is there's no discoverability on Twitch. Now, I kind of agree with that because there is it's very hard to get discovered natively on Twitch. And so therefore a lot of times people say use another kind of outlet. Like at the
Yeah,
moment we're recording this so we can upload this to YouTube and also to podcast. So it's like this interview is like not just on one platform but on two. And if we were streaming this right now, it'd be three. But
yeah, but we're not.
yeah, exactly. Maybe next time you're on, yo.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
But in general, I feel like there's just this bit where, like, the communities, I think we're going to get to a point that we're going to have more discoverable communities instead of discoverable platforms. Because I think that people are getting tired of platforms.
Yeah.
Are you thinking that as well?
Um, I think there are so many platforms, and it's getting a little bit confusing at times.
Mm,
Like I'm on Discord a lot.
mm,
I'm on Twitch a lot. And I was lately thinking, for how long haven't I been on like Facebook or something? Like
mm,
maybe a week. Like I barely use Facebook.
mm.
Like you have to make choices at these times, you know. I mean, it's getting so much. You have like WhatsApp, Snapchat,
Yeah,
Instagram,
yeah.
Facebook,
Mm.
Discord, Twitch. You know, you can't do it all.
No, and
It's just
it's like the hardest part is that whether you like it or not, these platforms are driven to essentially cut out the chaff of the TikTok or Instagram or something like that. They're there to promote the bigger people because
yeah,
that's who they get the ad revenue for. So
yeah,
at the end of the day, you can't just sit there and go, well, what about me? It isn't fair. Because obviously they have to make money too. They can't support all the people that they need to support because they're multi-million dollar businesses and they have lots of staff and they have to keep the lights on. So
yeah,
at the end of the day, whether we can complain about like the Twitch algorithm or like the hot tub meta, it's because at the end of the day, these guys need the money.
Yeah.
So whether you like it or not, they have to sell to the man. So they can keep the platform running. So whether we like it or not, we just kind of have to cope with it and try and work with it. And I definitely can understand that then people are going to get sick of platforms because they don't get engaged. So that's like, you know how we were talking about the chat?
Yeah.
And how that you have to interact with chat. Well,
yeah.
If you're not interacting with chat, what are you doing?
Yeah.
But anyway, like, I think that we're going to get to a point that there's a lot more communities like Stream Raiders that are communities and are kind of built around a certain platform, well, a certain game or a certain interest, but that's what they're going to be like.
That'd be actually cool.
Yeah, I would love to see that. It'd be really interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I think in general, that means that you can then show you're human. Because we can't relate to anything else. There's no such thing as like, oh yeah, like a persona. It's like people say branding, but I think in general, like the time of people being brands are gone. They won't be like that for a while now.
No, I don't think so either.
So what do you think, looking back on your journey? Yeah. Was there one thing that you think was your biggest trippable factor for you? Like, was there something that you just tripped over and you were like, you kind of stumbled then?
I think the thing that held me back a lot, which I changed recently, was actually having a schedule. That might be really important to do. That's one thing I really overlooked, because people want to know when you're online, right?
Yeah.
They and at some point they keep watching you, right? Because they know you're online from this time to this time. At some time they remember, oh, this guy is going to be, or this girl or this guy or whatever is going to be online, like at this point, and they will know and they will be there, you know, from the start.
Yeah.
Because they remember.
Yeah.
And I think that's really important, so I try to do that now.
I think in general, like, my biggest trippable factor, this is supposed to be an interview about you, Yari.
Yeah.
Was that I kind of have done multiple games. Like, I have possibly streamed every single game that I can. Like, there was a lot of streaming. And so, therefore, there was this whole idea of variety over content. And obviously, don't get me wrong, variety is great. But the whole idea of me variety streaming is not completely great. So one thing that I've seen that's really good is one of my friends just plays the game straight through until the end. And that's all she'll do until the end of that game. And that works very, very well. But that's not like MMOs or anything like that. That's a single player experience just to the end. And that's a good variety experience, and I would definitely suggest that. But in general, I feel like people go, stay away from saturated games. If you're actually a really entertaining person and you can talk to chat while actually shooting people, then go ahead. But I don't think that a lot of us work as well.
No,
doing that.
I like the thing I enjoy most about Twitch is the um, the social aspect, actually.
Mm,
Being social with people, talking with them, having a good time, right?
yeah, for sure.
That's the most fun thing about streaming, I think, personally for
Mm,
me.
mm. I think in general, what would I say? Streaming's not about a game, which is kind of weird because you're like, they're there for the game. Yeah, that's true. They came and clicked on you because they're interested in the game. They stay because of the content which you provide.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of times people think, okay, like this is boring or something like that. Like one thing that I've noticed, and it is one of those things, don't ask your chat whether your audio is good or not.
Oh, they will say can't hear, can't hear, can't hear.
I don't know. Like I've had several times that I've asked about like audio, and they're like, "Yeah, it's fine." And then it's like I've clicked on it later, like listening to it. I'm like, well, that's definitely too low. No wonder my viewer count was like only 5 people.
Yeah.
So like at the end of the day, yeah, like audiences are correct, but do double check like things like that.
Really, really important, actually.
Yeah, exactly. Because
I
yeah,
actually tend to check it already the evening before I'm going to stream.
that's a
Like,
good idea. I think in general, like the whole idea of prep, which I need to get on because I feel like if I had at least a document like, oh yeah, this like questions or things like that, at least then I don't get a mind blank.
yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah,
definitely
sometimes you just,
check your stream.
yeah, that's really important. I also forget sometimes, like small things like turning on the chatbot or
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. Like lately it has been better, but I've been more focused on the streams, like
Yeah.
to make sure everything is in order. I take like half an hour. I
Mm.
know people that take an hour in advance to set up the streams.
Mm.
Like that's how crazy it can get at times.
Yeah, I think in general, if you want kind of things to run smoothly, you need to kind of prep it so you don't have everything happen at once. Like the other day, my chatbot wasn't working, and I figured out that it had signed itself out of my
Oh,
Twitch.
that's not one.
Or like something stupid, like I moved all the sounds from my chatbot into a folder and hadn't connected it again.
Oh, yeah, that kind
Yeah,
of stuff.
yeah,
Yeah, it's you have to be really focused with what you're doing, right?
yeah,
Always prepping the stuff, which is really fun to do. But it has a fun effect if it goes wrong.
yeah. For sure. I think we all have our most hated parts of streaming. For me, it's audio. I hate audio.
Yeah. Like
Like,
I had it
yeah.
yesterday. People were doing channel redemptions for sounds. Um, and I forgot to add the soundboard. Like I had everything done. Like all the bots were in there. Everything was connected again because I had to make an entire new scene. Um, so I was like, oh, what do I need to add? I want to minimalize it, have it like really clear on Streamlabs. And then people were redeeming the sounds, and I was like, the one thing I forgot. The one thing I forgot.
I think in general, like, like we've almost like you've been streaming for over a year on Twitch. I've been streaming almost a year on Twitch. Like my like Twitch anniversary will be in July. but I think in general, like going back in time, is to kind of, if something's broken on stream, just laugh about it because it
Yeah.
happens and don't get stressed because it does happen. And like if you have to, like last night I called my stream like early, the end of stream, because I was like, there's like so many major issues that I need to fix. Like my OBS was eating my RAM like crazy, so therefore my Witcher was lagging, and so therefore I've gone through and fixed it. But in general, if you think it's easier to end a stream, do it. And explain to people like, oh yeah, like I'm feeling upset right now because this I need to fix. Like there's always this bit where definitely tell chat if there's something wrong. Like, oh yeah, guys, like I have overdone it. I've overworked myself. I'm starting to feel tired. And I know that if I'm tired, I don't talk. And obviously that can be this bit where like you're watching. And I think in general, would you agree with me, Yari? As soon as you get to a point that you know people are watching, you possibly should make a call and a decision to turn the viewer count off. Because even though that can be great, it can also be a really big thing.
How do you mean turning the viewer count off?
You can turn the viewer count off for Twitch, so you don't have to view it.
Oh, it never bothers me, honestly. Like I'm always there. I'm always having fun. Otherwise, I'll just sing along with music. I'm having fun again. Oh, two viewers, right?
Yeah.
Just put on some music and let's sing. You know,
to bring out the hot tub again.
Bring out the hot tub again, and people will immediately join. Like what I all like what you said. It's really good to, whenever things are not working out, to cut it, right? And then you say, just guys, it's been a fun time. I'm rather too tired to this. I think actually what I saw, and I don't know if because I think I've heard it, and I was really like, that's pretty good. I think actually like Amner, another streamer, had a skinathon for 24 hours, and I think he actually cut it on 20 hours. He was like, I'm not doing the final four because I'm so tired. Like I was like, I like that. That's not
like the whole
that's
idea.
not crossing your edge, you know. You tired, you know, that's. I think you can rather cut it short for 4 hours than like go on and be a total mess, like
and
mentally.
it's like the whole idea that definitely admit if there's something wrong and you have to go, guys, like this is not working tonight because this is you could sit there and go, okay, this is making me frustrated and I need to fix this. I'll see you all tomorrow. Like, it's a good way to kind of give people a realization that sometimes, whether they see the hard work or not, like, you always have to put hard work in to stream.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. And always like us, like real life is number one. That's a thing. Like yesterday, I had an appointment at 4, so I could only stream till 3:30. My schedule says 6, but I had an appointment. Like on Wednesday, I would have streamed as well, but my boss got me yesterday that he needs me on Wednesday. Right, I'll move it. Right, it's good to have like schedule, but don't let it interrupt with like normal life. Like go 100% for your private life.
Yeah.
Over streaming, definitely.
Yeah.
People understand it. Everyone is human, and everyone has these things. Now and then, yeah. Maybe it's even like this. The other day, my sister was in front of my door saying, "Hey, we are having a barbecue." Like, it is how it is. You have to stream at that point and say, "People, I have to go because this and that is happening. I have to go now." Actually, I mean,
I think in general, like the whole idea is also you can get wrapped up in streaming to the point that it becomes the most serious thing in your life.
yeah,
And it will mess your brain up like 110% because you're kind of giving it that kind of the power over you. And obviously, as we were explaining, like you can't always be in control of algorithms or how you get people in. So therefore, there's a lot of things that you will have to kind of let go of and just chill.
yeah.
And I'm not like one of those people that could chill very well.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah.
At some point, you have to chill. Like,
yeah.
Like, mandatory stuff. Like, what I said to myself, like, okay, right now, what I really need to do is make a schedule, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so do I need on my schedule? I want to make at least 5 hours a stream, at least.
Yeah.
I want to have a normal dinner time, which is really nice.
Yeah, that's true.
And I don't want to be. I want to have the ability, at least, to be in bed like on a normal time.
Oh yeah, yeah. It says me no you. Yeah, no, never happens.
The ability should be there. Not that it's going to work out at times, but at least if I want to work on it, I can. So then I was like, yeah, 10 till 6 sounds fair. Then I can get up early in the morning, which is good. Even when I'm done streaming, I can go to the store still if I need something.
Yeah.
I can have dinner at normal time. I can go to bed at a normal time. Not that it works out going to bed at a normal time, but still.
Yeah, I think in general, like the whole idea is that you do not think that full-time streaming's impossible. But we're both full-time streamers. Yeah. Essentially we're both on kind of government assistance right now. And there is this bit where obviously for me it's like if I like a furlough in the UK finishes in September, and it's like the whole like extra like 10 kilos is like, what will happen if I finish furlough and Twitch is not ready as a platform to be there to support me? Like, what?
Yeah.
It's like that whole idea that you're like,
Yeah, I'm really looking into like maybe doing a job or like actually my boss called me yesterday with like we're going to open up again, like the venue that I work in.
Nice job.
Normally, so on Wednesday I have to actually go there and prepare like all the lights and sound stuff.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, we're going to start, which is really cool. The first shows are actually
does that mean that you can essentially stream that on Twitch, or will you be able to?
It's really dependent on like the if I can or if I cannot. That's
well,
up to,
obviously
not up to
that could be something that Yari does in the future.
What I was actually thinking is making like a vlog style stuff.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Like,
Like
I think that's cool.
Yeah, whenever I go to my work and then show people like, oh, we're doing this now, we're doing that now. Like, not every day is different, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And especially when I will go on tour, then it's really, really, really fun to have vlogs or whatever. Like,
yeah,
today we're in
you could do the vlogs as well as like the in real life streams that people do.
Yeah. That'd be content for the future, definitely. And I'm going to do some also some like YouTube podcasts as well with my bass player. Then we take a topic, and then we talk about it, like what do we think about it and that kind of stuff. That's what we wanted to start for a bit. So this week we're also going to talk about it.
Okay, so therefore
soon.
the whole idea is that you can do exactly the same as this kind of podcast, where you use Anchor via Spotify, and that will use it as a podcast platform. But then you can also upload it to YouTube, and that's a good way to do it.
Yeah. Maybe you have like musicians like joining the podcast. That'd be cool.
That would be awesome.
That'd be actually cool, yeah.
I think I'm really excited to see what you do, because I think in general, like we kind of have, I think we're both excited about the possibilities that Twitch does have. Like we get excited about like the whole idea of being able to do something that's a little bit different, to tweak Twitch, or to tweak the whole idea of content creation.
Yeah.
I think in general that we both enjoy.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, I think our hour's up. Thank you, Yari.
Yeah, I think we're over an hour actually. I think we are well over an hour.
Well over an hour. Yeah, so it's essentially 12 minutes over an hour.
Yeah. Damn.
Thank you for coming on, Yari. You've been amazing as essentially the first episode on the podcast. How does that make you feel?
I feel honored. I feel honored. Yeah.
Thank you for coming, and we will catch you later on. If I keep on doing this podcast, we'll come back in about 6 months and see how you're going.
Yeah, you Twitch partner, definitely.
Twitch partner. Oh my god. You get that before me. How dare you?
Imagine coming back like 6 months later and then having like Twitch partner. That'd be absolutely insane.
Like, okay, what's your secret sauce and how do I get some?
Okay. I don't know. All right.
Well, bye guys. Have a good afternoon wherever in the world you are. And I hope to bring on another guest shortly. So see you guys. Bye.